Hi, Aditi.
Hello.
Hi. I was just wondering then if have you got any kind of evidence of hypnotherapy being effective?
Um, yes, I do. I can give you an example of a client of mine who came to see me for 6 weeks. He was coming to see me for extreme OCD, which is an acronym for obsessional compulsive disorder.
And so what does that mean exactly then?
Obsessional compulsive disorder is basically an extreme form of anxiety and fear inside the brain. The part of the brain, the primitive brain, actually thinks that life is in some kind of crisis or some kind of direct threat. And this can manifest itself in either a threat to the human body, so it could be a fear of contamination, or it could be a threat to your own personal safety. So then people are more likely to be obsessional about checking the locks, checking the windows. In this case, in my client's case, he was very much a security checker. So he would wake up in the morning very, very early to start his routine of checks. And the routine was based in a very strict way. So he would perform the checks and then redo them and then redo them. So this was taking 4 or 5 hours every morning before he could even leave the house to go to work. So as you can imagine, this was having a huge impact not only on himself but obviously his family as well. So of course he came to see me for 6 weeks. The first week or so, we give them the explanation of how the brain works in relation to this disorder, of what part of the brain you're in when you're obsessional, and then what part of the brain you're in when you're not. So it's giving you that contrast between the obsessional primitive part of your mind and the intellectual, rational, relaxed part of your mind. And because he really took the initial consultation seriously, and he really got it and really understood it, that in itself, really did help start to shift things for him. So when he arrived for his session 2 and 3, he definitely displayed much better signs of being more relaxed. The anxiety had definitely minimised, and this was starting to show evidence not only within his checking or minimising of that checking, but also in his daily life at work, with his children, with his relationship, that kind of thing. And then we moved into sessions 3 and 4, where he was then moving into his intellectual brain. He was coming up with ideas of ways he could start to minimise the checking, because he was taking intellectual control and realising that he didn't need to do that anymore. The threat had started to come down in his brain. So in his own way, he was really minimising the hours of what was going on in the morning and also at night. Then by weeks 5 and 6, between weeks 5 and 6, he was actually going on holiday for 2 weeks. And this was going to be the biggest test for him as to whether he could leave the house without doing any obsessional checks. And so that's what he decided he was going to aim for. So on the morning of him leaving for the airport, he decided that he was not going to check at all. And I don't normally do this, but I asked him if he would text me when he got to the airport, and he sent me a text to say, "Thank you so much. I'm at the airport and I didn't have to do one single check. I feel free." And that is amazing. That is life-changing. So then by the time he'd come back off his holiday, he was super relaxed, and I signed him off. And even to this day, he has not had any more obsessional tendencies, and to him that is life-changing. 25 years of obsession, 6 weeks freedom for him and his family, which is so lovely.